At my twin brother's wedding reception, they dimmed the lights and played a slideshow. The initial images were typical childhood memories, sports matches in high school, college gatherings. Then appeared the slide with my image. A black backdrop, stark white letters, infertile, divorced failure, high school dropout, low income, no wife. The audience erupted in laughter. He stood beside his new spouse, smiling. "Don't laugh too hard," he said, to prevent tears. My mother sipped her wine, my father chuckled. "Just a joke, right?" I pulled out my phone and murmured, "Start." The room fell silent. I wasn't always the target of humor. When we were young, I was the one who helped him with math, covered for his late nights, shared his punishments, took the blame for things I hadn't done. We were twins, so they thought we were exchangeable. Same face, same destiny. They chose the one they favored and went with it. He aspired to become a doctor. I toiled through nights arranging shelves to let him focus on his studies undisturbed, earning enough overtime to finance his education at T-Prep. I sold the self-constructed motorbike when he required a laptop. I convinced myself it was brotherhood, family, love that didn't keep tabs. When father lost employment and mother turned to alcohol, it was me who remained behind. He departed for medical school. I stayed to maintain the fragments. I assumed the financial burden. I cared for them when they seemed oblivious of my status as their son rather than their disappointment. Married once, to a woman I cherished more than my own existence. We longed for children, but tests revealed it was not feasible. She comforted me, stating it didn't matter. A year later, I arrived home early and discovered her preparing to leave. She expressed a desire for someone whose life did not reek of exhaustion, someone who didn't brew coffee amid tears and silence. I chose silence instead of argument. I simply assisted in loading the car. That is the type of man I am, quiet when tormented. Around this period, I observed my brother neglecting my phone calls, claiming he was occupied. Multiple vessels under observation. I comprehended the situation. He was saving lives. Yet his increased communication towards parents started to bother me. Gifts accompanied by cards bearing love were dispatched their way. They began to consider him as their only child, a label I did not dispute. During my last visit, my mother scrutinized my hands and inquired if I ever tired of defeat. My father chuckled as if it was amusing. My brother stood nearby, against the doorway, without uttering a word. After that incident, he ceased inviting me to family gatherings, citing them as small and private. Even at his wedding, my presence was only requested due to the fiancé's insistence and reassurances of my importance. However, when the screen displayed my life in a humorous yet dismissive manner, I recognized the author instantly. The font, the arrogance, those were his trademarks. He'd always been adept with words, but also cruel. So I pulled out my phone. I had remained silent for years. But I listened. I observed. While they laughed, I constructed something from my silence. A network of connections in significant locations, a secret help extended, hushed discussions exchanged. I uncovered his hospital, the phony prescriptions, the insurance scam, the hidden referrals. I chose not to reveal it. Instead, I gathered evidence. Stealthily. Then, 2 months ago, I received a call. A nurse in distress. She was frightened, said no one believed her. I believed her. So I assisted her. Assisted her in filing the complaint. Provided her with my attorney. Covered her retainer fee. Helped 3 more come forward. All covertly. Without any media attention. Just facts, paperwork, undeniable truth. The hospital board conducted an internal review last week. He is unaware, at least until the presentation halted amid laughter. Until the projector switched to black, then flickered back on. Not another jest, but a message. This man is under investigation. Pending suspension. Accusations of misconduct. Details confidential. For now, gasps echoed. Confused whispers filled the room. She turned her head so gradually, as if observing a ship sinking in real time. He looked at me, neither angry nor afraid, merely puzzled, as if he hadn't anticipated resistance from me. I didn't smile, merely slipped my phone into my pocket. I departed before dessert. No need to witness his dissent, no need to hear his justifications. The survival of the wedding for a week matters little now. That wasn't the objective. The real message was in the power of silence when necessary. He transformed my suffering into a spectacle. I responded with a spectacle of my own. The distinction is, mine speaks the truth. My mother contacted me 2 days later, bypassing an inquiry about my well-being, instead questioning why I would carry out such a heartless act on his significant day. I didn't respond, simply allowed the call to grow silent, mirroring his past actions. My father messaged, claiming I had shamed the family. I contemplated his message for a prolonged period before blocking his number. My brother has not made contact, an action I don't anticipate. He shares my features, but his decisions have never been mine. Some individuals learn through instruction. Others learn by experiencing consequences. Others find solace in isolation. Myself, I discovered that retribution doesn't always blaze with fury. Sometimes, it simply departs serenely, allowing the flames to slowly abate. I don't harbor animosity towards him. Instead, I discard him. I'm not wed or a parent, have no diploma, yet I rest soundly. I dine in solitude, yet with tranquility. I've suffered losses, offered much, but what remains unscathed, my dignity, my conscience, is mine. Untainted. Let them sneer. They're ignorant of the fortitude required to be the man they cannot vanquish. And now, they never will.